The following program has been brought to you in part by Sennheiser and the Airline Pilots Association.
On this episode, we'll tell you why airlines must come clean, which airline joined Star Alliance, why one Canadian official says the country is falling behind the U.S. in aviation safety, and how you can help prevent kidney stones. All of this and more here on The Flight Deck. Hello, I'm Sharon Varab. Welcome to The Flight Deck. The Department of Transportation wants airlines to decode their hidden fees, ruling that carriers must report more information on what they charge for everything from seat selection to pillows. The new rule would require airlines to report 16 additional categories of fee revenue. This is in addition to the baggage and reservation change fees. The agency says that in an era of rising fees, the rules give the traveling public better information about how airlines are performing. A new study shows that implementing RNP landing approaches at 46 mid-sized U.S. airports would save airlines $65.6 million a year. Released by GE Aviation, the study says that required navigation performance approaches would save 12.9 million gallons of jet fuel, 274.6 million pounds of carbon dioxide, and 747 days of flight time. The Airline Pilots Association International recently urged Congress to pass a TSA reauthorization bill that puts programs in place to end the one-size-fits-all approach to aviation security. The association maintains that a threat-based security screening option is a better use of the agency's limited resources. Captain Lee Moak, ALPA president, says the union is particularly pleased with the administration's support of alternative screening for airline pilots. Wendy Tadros, chairman of the Transportation Safety Board of Canada, recently criticized Transport Canada for not moving on key air safety issues, particularly runway safety. In an interview with Dow Jones, she said that Canada lags behind the U.S. The board is urging Canadian airports to reduce the occurrence of runway collisions and create larger safety areas at the end of runways or install structures to safely stop planes that overrun. Tadros says that while the U.S. has tested technology to improve runway safety, there's been no move to develop or test new equipment in Canada. Star Alliance welcomed China's Shenzhen Airlines into its network. Seeking to fill a gap in its China network, members of the alliance say that the airline will be fully integrated into the group by the end of 2012. Shenzhen Airlines will add 5 Chinese destinations to the network. Of the 3 major global airline alliances, only Star Alliance and SkyTeam have mainline Chinese airline membership. On Tuesday, July 26th, the National Mediation Board began sending out voting instructions to JetBlue pilots. Pilots are able to vote by telephone or internet upon receipt of the instructions, and the election will stay open until August 16th. So, when you see a JetBlue pilot while flying, encourage him or her to get their questions answered. For more information, contact a member of the JetBlue ALPA Organizing Committee or visit jetblueoc.org. Do you suffer from kidney stones? After the break, ALPA's Doctor on Call will tell you why it's so important that you stay hydrated during these hot summer days.
From the first time I boarded a commercial plane as its pilot, I've embraced the responsibility I have to the safety of my passengers and crew. And I have the best flight gear, even the headset certified for commercial duty. It lets me concentrate on the task at hand, making this the safest flight my passengers will ever have.
The feature-packed HMEC 26 provides long-wearing comfort and more than 18 dB of noise reduction. Try the HMEC 26 on your next flight and hear the difference for yourself.
Hi, I'm Mary Verity from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd like to ask a pilot, how do you see in the dark?
Mary, that was an excellent question. And the best way I can explain it to you is if you think about how you drive a car at night. You have lights on your car just like we do on our aircraft. We have very powerful landing lights and taxi lights that help us navigate the aircraft on the ground, takeoff and landing. But once we're airborne, we have to rely on our aircraft instruments. These instruments help us navigate, help us turn or just climb and descend, and we can determine where we're at in the airspace at any one given time. The most powerful tool that we have, however, the well-trained pilot in the seat.
According to the National Kidney Foundation, each year more than 500,000 people go to emergency rooms for kidney stone problems. And for pilots, it's a disqualifying medical condition until you're fit to fly the line again. So to stay healthy, here's Dr. Snyder with measures you can take to help prevent kidney stones from occurring.
Did you know that for men, your risk of kidney stones increases as you get older? It's true. Although women are less prone to kidney stones, they are also vulnerable. Kidney stones affect hundreds of thousands of Americans each year and hundreds of pilots. Kidney stones are hard deposits of material that develop when certain chemicals in our kidneys form crystals and bond together. Although they are relatively tiny, the pain from this harmless sounding condition can be excruciating when passing from the kidney into the bladder. For pilots, the presence of kidney stones is typically disqualifying for both FAA and Transport Canada medical certification until resolved. So how do you prevent kidney stones from occurring? The best bet is to drink lots of water and make sure you attend to your physiologic needs during long flights. Keep in mind that your body is usually a liter dehydrated before you become thirsty. A good rule of thumb is to drink enough fluids to keep your urine clear, at least 2 quarts of water a day. Believe me when I say that pilots with previous kidney stones rarely forget this rule. If you have a tendency to form kidney stones, your doctor may recommend changes in your diet depending on the type of stone you form. Check with your doctor before taking calcium or vitamin D supplements, as these may increase your risk of kidney stones. Although calcium-containing foods such as milk, yogurt, and broccoli may actually lower the risk of stone formation. Most of all, be sure that you're properly hydrated. Following these basic guidelines will help you keep stone-free. Stay healthy, fly safely.
In a special series called A Pilot's Log, the Airline Pilots Association is capturing stories from pilots like Captain Guerin. Captain Guerin is a former Eastern Airlines pilot who had an extraordinary airline pilot career. In an exclusive ALPA interview, he tells all, from his early days training women entering to the Air Force services to his encounters with celebrities with Spiro Agnew and Liza Minnelli.
The flight attendant came back up and he said, "Liza wants to come up in the cockpit." I said, "Well, she's not supposed to come up in the cockpit." "Well, she really wants to come." I said, "Okay, send her up." So we got pretty close to Atlanta. We were letting down. I said, "I'm going to have to ask you to go in the back because I can't leave you up here on a landing." Oh, she said, "I want to see the landing. Can I have can I watch the landing?" I said, "Okay." So I said, "You swear you'll never tell anybody?" She said, "No, not Captain." "Okay."
For the rest of Captain Guerin's Liza story, visit our website where you can watch the full episode of A Pilot's Log. If you know an airline pilot who's between 80 and 100 years old who has similarly amazing stories, please let us know. You can send us the pilot's name, former airline, and contact information at FlightDeck@alpa.org. And we may capture their aviation history for the next generation of pilots. And stay tuned for the next edition of A Pilot's Log. Now it's time to watch and win. First, congratulations Luis Putzes for making it to the next round. You were randomly selected from the correct entries for the last episode. Luis will now be entered into the grand prize drawing along with 5 other winners for a chance to win a Sennheiser HMEC 26T headset valued at $850. We'll select the next winner at the Air Safety Forum next month, so you won't want to miss that episode. But don't worry, this doesn't spell the end of the contest. We'll do this all over again after selecting the next 6 winners. On to today's question. How many millions of dollars a year would RNP save airlines? Visit our website to submit the answer for your chance to win a Sennheiser headset. Thank you for watching The Flight Deck. If you have any feedback about this episode, please let us know at FlightDeck@alpa.org. Thanks again, and I'll see you next month here on The Flight Deck.